What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to work on a song called Hold of Me by James Wilson. It's in the key of D. Two sharps right there. And we're going to play it all the way through, and then I'll break it down a little bit at the end, and we'll see what happens. Here we go.
Verse.
If only you know me, if only you'd seen where I was, what I did, and who I used to be.
Verse.
Then you'd know there was no hope for me. Till I came to the altar and gave him everything.
that is Hold of Me by James Wilson. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the song. But it's a fun one to play for sure. We're actually doing this for an Illinois camp coming up soon, so I'm working on it for that. And so I figured I would just kind of share what I learned as I was working on this song. So the verse kind of starts out with, you know, bass, maybe a little acoustic, other stuff other than the piano. So you can sit out the verse, or you can do kind of the same thing that I did on the second verse. Just kind of bouncing between a D and a D suspended. But then the piano really comes in on the pre-chorus, and I can't understand. Starts on an A chord to the D over F sharp, and it does this little walk down from a D to a C sharp before it lands on the G. And I can't understand. Now it says it's like an A add 2. A lot of times, cool trick with add 2 chords is you can kind of trip them up to the third. You can either just stay on the 2 without the 3, or you can add, kind of like bounce off of it to get back to the regular major chord. Same thing on the G chord. Little extra movement. So that it basically does that same repetition, and then the last line, all I know is something got a hold of me. G, D over F sharp, A, add 2 over C sharp to a G over B. And that's very quick. All I know is something got a hold of me. And that's kind of where it gets to the chorus. And that first chorus, you're out as well on the piano. The synth, and there's just backing track that kind of plays with this evolving pad kind of thing. But there's no real piano track. Of course, if you were the only musician, or you had you didn't have the track and you had to work this out with a smaller band, you could just play probably the chords and make it a little bit just like lower in volume, or you can affect your sound maybe with a cutoff. Like on the piano here, I could turn down the highs. That way, as it builds in, you kind of bring the high end back in a little bit. That's kind of what the track is doing. It's like evolving with the low filter, and then it sweeps it up to the higher frequencies. And then it comes in on the last line. But when Jesus came and something got a hold of me. Okay, let's work on that. So it's an E minor chord to a D over F sharp, and then this chord, it's like an A13 basically. It looks like a B minor on the top over an A with a dominant 7. And it creates kind of a big, he does it, the keyboard player on the song does a few different versions of an A chord on these last hits. Sometimes it's like that first one, it sounded like an A13 to me, and then the other ones sometimes just like an A suspended. Another time it's like an A9. So he does a few of these different shapes. Now, but that's very common on the 5 chord, especially like on a turnaround at the very end of the chorus or something like that. The 5 chord, the A is the 5 chord in the key of D. And on that chord, a lot of times we'll have a 7 or a suspended or all these different variations. And that's very common. Sometimes it'll be a 4 over 5, which is that kind of like that one, G over A. But it's basically extensions. So you have the 9s, 11s, the 13s, all of that stuff. So that's what is happening. But that first one, so that's a pretty cool voicing. And then the right hand, it's matching the melody. But when Jesus came and something got a hold of me, as we're doing the left hand walk up. Something got a hold of me. Okay, and then you go into that next interlude. So that is the next big interlude. A lot of moving chords here. The melody, da, 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 that's the most important thing. Da, 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 da. bass notes are D, F sharp, G, C sharp, B, F sharp, G, to B, to A, D, F sharp, G, C sharp, B, F sharp, G, B, A. If you put that together, D over F sharp, G, A over C sharp, B minor, D over F sharp, to the B minor 7. So I'll do it a little bit slower, but in time. 1, 2, ready, go. And then we go into the second verse, where we can actually play along this time.
Verse.
Say now.
His joy is strength in the darkest of days. In this part, you're just kind of vamping on the 1 chord to the suspended, D to D suspended, in a lower register, A chord, G, back to the pre-chorus, and never going. Now, I find myself doing this, especially on some maybe faster moving chords, walking into it a little bit, right? So instead of just hitting the A on that beginning of the pre-chorus, maybe a little. It just adds a little bit extra sort of improv of a feel to the song. And then even on the D over F sharp, something like that. That little fast movement again. G, D over F sharp, A over C sharp, G over B. Something got a hold of me. All I know is something got a hold of me. Chorus. That's why I dance like a G chord, D, B minor 7, A. So that's just 4 chords that repeat the first 2 times. I like to find voicings that are close to get to, you know. So on a this progression is G, D, B minor to A, and instead of jumping to root position chords and doing a ton of jumping, I can do inversion from G to D, B minor to A, G, D, B minor, A. And that way I'm not jumping as far. Inversions are huge, and I'm not going to go over every single inversion. I'm kind of just trying to make this a quick tutorial. But inversions are something that you can learn to really make your playing connect a lot easier instead of having to do all these big jumps. And then the second half of the chorus, don't know how to explain it. So you have G to an A chord, B minor 7, A. Then we have E minor, D over F sharp, A. So that's all well and good, but it has this little melody. So that part right there. So think of this like a G major 7. That first one, and then you go to the A chord. Think of that as like an A first inversion. This is the kind of process I'm going through in my head. on why this melody works with this chord progression. It's an A chord. Okay, so that's just like part of the A chord, and then the next one's a B minor. And that one is a B minor 9, right? So you have the 3, 5, 7, 9 of the B minor chord, and so it's like 3rd to the 9th. And then it's an A chord again. So the E works with the A chord. So this is the process I'm going through my head. Okay, so that's that little melody. I'll do it slow. And then it does. So that is a little walk down to get to the E minor chord, right? Which is the start of our walk up. But to get there, it goes, I think of that as like G, D over F sharp, E minor. And it's harmonizing. So you have the 3rd as it walks down. Something got a hold of me. And then it goes to the, if you feel like a da, 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 you ain't seen nothing yet. So basically it's just D to a G chord, hits on the G chord, 1, 2, 3, back to the D. And you can do different inversions. And I like to do this little pickup before the hits sometimes. And it's just walking up to the 4 chord. And if I do that, a lot of times it'll just stick with a 2-note version of the chord. It's like an anticipation, but you have to still land on the downbeat. 2, 3, 4. And then on bridge 2 it says, I will dance, I will run. This is when it starts moving a little bit more. So D to E minor 7, D over F sharp, and then you hit the G, D over A, G over B, D over F sharp, and then you hit the E minor, till there's nothing left. Praise till there's nothing left. Praise till there's nothing left. Praise till there's nothing left. And then you have another interlude that's separate from the first one that we learned. It's a little different. So this one goes D, D over F sharp, G, A. It's a B minor, but it kind of, the melody does this, which starts as like a G over B, and then it resolves to a B minor 7. So, and then the second one, instead of going to the B minor, it lands on the D, but it starts the same. The third one, similar pattern, but the melody is different. Da, 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 da. And that's a key part of this whole thing. If you don't get the melody in there, it kind of just... You could do it without the melody, possibly. You just miss something. And the very last one is D, F sharp, G to the A. Okay, let's do the whole thing in context. I'll do it a little slow. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. something got a hold of me, and then we go back into the chorus. Got a hold of me. Then we go back into the bridge, and it's pretty much all the same from there, honestly. You know, you got bridge 1, you got bridge 2, it's all the same, and then you have the little interlude again. Something got a hold of the last chorus. Kind of driving it a little bit more. Then we have this tag which repeats like 3 times. But when Jesus came in. The key to remember with this is it's basically E minor, D over F sharp, A, B minor, and it does that like twice. But when you do that, the E minor and the F sharp are pushed, the A and the B minor are on the downbeat. Okay, so but when Jesus came in, 2, 3. So if we were to just do that with a click track, you'd hear it better. 2, 1, 2, 3. But when Jesus came in, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is the key thing is the rhythmic pushes. When we say it's pushed, it means it's before the downbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 then when we say it's on the downbeat, it's on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Like on the 1, the 3, any of the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are kind of the downbeats, and the and are the eighth notes are the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when we say it's pushed, we mean it's on the eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2. Something got a hold of me. So then with that in mind, the piano player does something a little bit extra. I think it was Julian Tabarez who played on this song. But along with the tags, the turnaround, on the second one, something got a hold of. And I think this one he ends on this something. But he does this little thing. Basically, I think of this as like it sounds like a major scale to me. Then he skips the 4. So if you know your D major scale, right? And instead of just doing it straight down, he's bouncing back and forth between the tonic, the 1, the D of, you know, the key. Okay, so that's kind of how Jesus came in. Something got a hold of me. I'll do it one more time, nice and slow. But when Jesus came in, something got a hold of me. Does that one to end it. And that is the song. You can do a little arpeggio at the end. Just do the same thing. can do all kinds of these. Any kind of variation of a G major 7 kind of thing, G major 9, you can do as an arpeggio. It would be kind of cool. If this was a little fast for you, two things. Some people don't know this, but YouTube has a speed option. You can actually slow the video down and catch some of these runs a little bit slower if you need to. The other thing is, if you need to really take a step back and take a deeper dive into any of this piano stuff, I have a Church Piano 101 course that is available. You can purchase it right now if you check the link down below, and that can help you out just to get a very strong core understanding of improv and how we apply it to church music and reading chord charts, interpreting that, all of that good stuff. And then I also do one-on-one piano lessons if you really want a specific thing. Maybe you need to learn a song in a different key. I have comments just saying, hey, can you do the song in A flat, or can you do the song in G? Well, I can't really do a tutorial in every single key for every single song, but if we book a one-on-one lesson, we could definitely break it down into that key that you're talking about. So that would be helpful potentially for you. And thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching. Share it with a friend, and thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.